What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the strip. Welcome to the shop. Welcome to the app. Coffee Talk app. It's your boy. Oh, excuse me. It's boy Big Ding. I wanted to chime in on something important that you know how I do. I see a topic and it's being discussed, but it can be brought to a little better clarity or a little bit more intricate clarity. So, I'm just gonna jump it off and start off like I always start off with a big smile and a big salute to my supporters, new and old, continual, all my subscribers, new and old, and people who watch, whether you subscribing or not, hit the like, hit a comment, you know what I'm saying? It all helps. Also, shout out to a lot of people I mess with. Shout out to T3 the PolarBear. Shout out to Koolin and the Krew. Shout out to Journey with KEE-KEE. Shout out to It's a Terrence kind of thing. Shout out to Nitro Fruit. Shout out to Collage. Shout out to Supine. Shout out to Mighty Whitey. Shout out Miss 504. Shout out Toothless Tiger. Shout out Mr. Skinny TV. Big Unc doing this thing continually over there. Y'all already know. Shout out Mayor SOSUA. Shout out to JC family. Shout out to Rooks. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to Tia. Shout out Anne Marie. Shout out to Angie Baby. Shout out to Sleazy. Shout out to Chosen. And a whole host of others. If I missed you on this one, shout out to Ren Rock. If I missed you on this one, then y'all already know my bad. You're going to be in the beginning of one of these videos if I deal with you. So yeah. Let's get into this discussion because I think it's an important discussion. So I'm sipping on a protein smoothie right now. Chop it up with y'all before I go work out. So here's the thing. We're still dealing with police putting their hands on teenagers and innocent people and things of that sort of that nature. Because this is what the topic was the other day. And we were showing some footage. I saw some footage of an incident. As well as I heard the dialogue behind what's going on here. Y'all know I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. And I'm going to get straight to it. A lot of us parents is failing the kids. We still leaving responsibility of bringing these children into adulthood on the school system. We're still leaving that accountability on things outside of the house. Because for some strange reason, we just don't want to be responsible and accountable for the lack thereof. And what am I saying? It's never all right for police officers to take a hyper-aggressive action toward teenagers and the young, innocent women, men, and whoever the case is. Period. But if we're not teaching these young men what to do, we're not teaching them how to talk to officers in these specific types of instances, then we're going to keep getting what we're getting. Now, I'm not here to justify the police by no means, because I know somebody sitting there, are you just saying that the police can just put their hands? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, we sit around all day, every day. Okay, so here's an example. So the incident where I was listening to the young man's parent say, well, I'm just going to wear a fuck the police t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? I should wear that to court. You know what I'm saying? And show his anger toward the situation. And here's the thing, by all means, I understand what he's saying. So I'm not here to cape for the police officers. But what I'm also here to say is just that small notion is an example of what I'm trying to say. See, you think that wearing that would hurt the police feelings, or it would make a statement. You know what I'm saying? A powerful statement. And it's not. It's going to make everything worse for your son. See, we think that, oh, I ain't going to let the officers come in and arrest my child and just snatch him up. I'm going to defend him. That's an adolescent decision. That's an immature decision. That's a decision that shows lack of knowledge of what to do when faced with adversity. You see, because the same people you walk around talking about, oh, fuck the police and this and this and this, y'all got to be realistic, because the police is the first people y'all call when faced with danger. So on one hand, the message is F the police, be disrespectful as you can. But when you need help, call them, which is an incorrect message. The message should be respect an officer when they show up doing their job. But at the same time, understand the position and the history behind that job, that force, and be aware. So you're not being a sucker when the officer talking to you and you're answering. Because so often you find yourself talking to your own people like shit. Day in and day out, I hear each other call each other names, and we treat each other like shit. We have aggression and built up anger and attitudes for all the wrong things. And we also point and project this anger and this attitude and all this hostility in all the wrong directions. We keep talking about we want police to do this and act like this and act like that, but we stay in their way. I use this example because coming from the inner city, you get a lot of peers that use these things as scapegoats. Oh, well, you know how police is, man, they always doing this and all that. But in actuality, sometimes your ass in the way. I could never understood how you could sit and complain about the police harassing you. They keep pulling up on me. Bitch, you ain't moved in 3 days. You've been on the same corner. He been seeing you when he changed shift for 3 days. His job is to patrol the area. So perhaps if you get your stale ass out the way, you won't be in his way. You won't be catching cases. Then you want to huff and puff. His job was to ask you to move. You felt like your ego was in the way. You said something back. Now, you always got the right to speak your mind, but this is what I'm saying. When you say something back, you stepping in within a game that you don't know the rules to. See, I can say what I want to say back to the officer, because when he say something back, I know what to say. I also know how to deliver the proper language so that that officer will know that, excuse yourself, you don't have any rights to tell me what to verbally express. You see? Because we're all involved in this particular game, and we all involved in these rules and regulations, and then it's when you don't know the rules, you think you're right. Now, I watched the video. I watched several videos. I just been looking through them. And one thing I can say is some of the youth is out of control. Some of the youth, whether you say you raising them right at home or not, they're leaving home with a whole nother agenda in their mind. It shows out there, though. See, I see my mom worked for the school board 30 plus years. I've seen children do things that required extra force and a little extra tactic. Because, for one, I've seen situations where if it's not said or dealt with, and that child turns and hurts another child, then it's a problem. We gotta quit picking and choosing when we want the police to be right and wrong, and straighten ourselves up to where we don't even have to fucking deal with them. Deal with your kids at fucking home. Let them know. See, if your son or your daughter don't buck up at you in the house when you dropping your rules and you giving your chastizations, I don't know if that's a word, but it sounded nice. I put it in there, and feel free to use it whenever you feel like it. So let me go back and use it one more time. So when you're at home giving your chastizations, deliver the messages as well. See, because it's not okay for these young men to be thinking that, oh, it's just because it's a male and he's saying this and he's saying that, I can buck up at him. I can get up in his face. These grown-ass men. These is grown-ass men who faces you jumping up in. He's way stronger than you, and more than likely bigger, faster. You don't stand a chance. But dad didn't give you the right message. See, dad walked around like he fucking tough. So you think you're tough. You don't know? We always say we want our sons to be like us. I never say that. I always state that I want you to be better than me. I want you to make better decisions than me. I'm here to help you make better decisions than the ones I made, so that you can go further than I became. You understand what I'm saying? Further than where I'm at. We always want to point the finger and not look at the bigger picture. If an incident had to have the police called, then by all means, your child is probably not innocent. They might not have deserved whatever force or whatever happened, but they were there. Start being accountable and responsible. You know, when you was a teenager, your ass didn't listen. So you know your son and your daughter ain't listening sometimes when they gone. Start being truthful. I told y'all in one of these other videos, if we start telling the truth at these funerals and these goofy vigils that people keep holding, start telling the truth, some of these kids will stop repeating this shit. At the funeral, don't talk about how good Lil Junebug was when you know he wasn't. Just tell the truth. Well, we was hoping that one day it wouldn't come to this, but he wouldn't change his ways, and as much as we would like him to, and then you give the message to the other young that's at the funeral. As much as we would have liked him to change, he didn't, and this became the outcome. And we're crying out to y'all now to use this as an example of what not to do. Don't go to this damn funeral talking about, oh, he was a good kid. Oh, he was this and he was that. When you know he had 4 numbers already, never finished high school, never had a job, and things of that sort and that nature. Just tell the truth. We so busy not trying to be embarrassed about shit that's going on that we can't fix each other. Our egos is in the way. We scared to fucking talk to each other about real issues. But we'll get on YouTube and talk about goofy ass dumb shit. Let's use it for what it's for. Everybody got a degree in this or a specialty in this. Use it. Let's start using it. We still talking about who got more money and who could post a fine car and who going the fastest, whose dashboard say this, who got the new Balenciagas and bullshit. While the police still choking up and slamming the fuck up on our kids and women. See, the example shows that we're not doing. YouTube awards. For what? Who doing that? Why for what? Unless you're giving them to proper YouTubers. People who have actually you've seen turn their platforms into careers and into very lucrative cash flows. That's the people that we should be pushing in the front. Not these people that's arguing back and forth about each other's business, but they don't even know each other's business for real. Start linking up. Oh, you a carpenter? Oh yeah, well I got a little property over here, and this the idea. So me and you could work hand in hand. We could put something over here and start something. Boom. Oh, you got property and land out there? Well, you know I got a green thumb. You've been trying to get in the garden. Let's link up. Boom. Motherfuckers want to link up and have boxing matches. Link up and have car shows. That the money don't even go back into the community. It's just a car show. Or these just matches, or these just competitions. That shit is not feeding the community. Get y'all thoughts together. Get y'all mind right, man. That's all. Just get your mind right. There's a lot of other things out here that we could be accumulating. Seeing at the times we living in. We taking shit so fucking for granted. All you fake ass Christians always taking this shit for granted too. Always talk about I'm sending a prayer for you. I'm praying for you. No, pray for you. Oh, I'm sorry. You've been praying all this time and ain't nothing changed yet. Don't be the goofy talking about, well, God have been looking out for me. He ain't just been looking out for you and ain't been looking out for the rest of the people that's praying. So quit fucking lying. Start strapping up y'all fucking boots and coming outside and putting in some of this work. Much as y'all like to say that y'all doing this and doing that, we still fucked up out here. And as an individual, I can speak like that because I do the work. But I would like to see a collective movement to better these communities. Period. Block parties jump off and little hood festivals. Everybody and their mama come out in their best dressed. Kids graduation, prom weekend, and homecomings. No adults are visible. Ain't that something? So we'll go throw a parade for the football team when they win a state champ, but we don't throw no parade, no celebration for the valedictorians. Where's our priorities? We hold up the good runners and wrestlers and ball throwers, but the good readers, writers, scientists get ignored by us. We not helping. Get your minds right. We not helping. We enabling. Because a lot of y'all have been enabled or neglected. See, a lot of people have been neglected, so I see people try to overcompensate to children. Missing the fact. Like the gifts don't teach. The Jordans ain't teaching. These video game systems don't teach. how to survive in the world. You still have to do that part. Because you didn't have, when you were young, you didn't pay attention to what you didn't have. What you didn't have was obviously a good priority standing compass. To live by. That's what needed correcting. Not the fact that you didn't have certain shit, so now the child, you got to get it for the child. You didn't have proper education. I don't see you fighting hard for that. We all went to public school. You fighting hard because you didn't have dirt bikes, so you getting your kids dirt bikes. You couldn't play with water guns, so your kid got every water gun that's out. You weren't properly educated, but you're not fighting to properly put your child in a winning position up here. And then when we all congregate and get together, there's no building going on. Only thing people talking about is the same stuff they talked about in high school. Sitting around calling the dozens. Now that's always fun and comedic and a good pastime. When we should be sitting there though, exploring the options of how we can merge our small businesses we've all created and come up with some empire, some family shits going on here. Oh, I'm sorry. That's too much like right. That's too much like putting the responsibility in the lap of the people who it should be in. See, y'all want to hear people that agree with your pain and your sorrow and oh yeah, I feel you, I understand, I'm going through that too. So you ain't ready to hear what the real leaders should be telling y'all. What real leaders are talking about and how we really talk. Because it's really plain and simple. If you want change, you got to be hands-on. You know what I'm saying? When you want to change your funky ass drawers, you reach your hands in the drawer, you pull out some drawers, and you change it. You hear me? Everything is just that simple. It just requires application. So the reason that we're not seeing change and we're not seeing solutions is just that simple. We're not putting our hands on shit that got to do with shit that's gonna fix shit. Like this video, get down in there, get in them comments. This requires dialogue. Share if you like it. Also, go in the description, join the Discord. But y'all know how I do. I'll be back at y'all because it's been fun. And gotta take a small break. I gotta refresh my smoothie. You know, get another finely rolled cigar. And a couple more little small things and I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.